Trip Bill Podcast. Shout out to everybody listening to shit on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, all that shit. Tonight, whenever the fuck you listen to this shit, I'm gonna talk about social media and the effects it has on our mental health. You know, I was witness to a lot of shit throughout our lifetime. A large part of my lifetime was on social media. It was kind of the thing to do when I was a kid, when it first got popular with MySpace and all that shit. And I also seen a lot of people fall out over shit on social media, because it's hard to get an understanding of somebody when you're not in person. All you can go off is words. You can't really look nobody in the eyes when they talking to you like that. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do, sometimes shit just weird like that. So they can kind of lead people down a weird path, a path of destruction. This internet shit can make you veer off, and you can lose focus on what's more important in your life. You can end up fucking your life off because you got pulled into the internet, you got pulled into the web, you got caught in the web. If you ever know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube or anywhere and go look at a time lapse on how a spider lays its web out and lets everything come to it, and then comes and kills it. Go check that out. But the role that social media plays in mental health, you know, human beings are, we're social creatures, and we feel the need of companionship with others to thrive in life. And the strength of our connections has a huge impact on our mental health and happiness. Being socially connected to others can ease the stress, anxiety, and depression. It can also boost your self-worth. It can also provide comfort and joy. It can also prevent loneliness and even add years to your life. In today's world, many of us rely on social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, whatever the fuck you use. And while each of those has its benefits, it's also important to remember that social media can never be a replacement for real world human connection. It requires in-person contact with others to trigger the hormones that alleviate stress and make you feel happier, healthier, and more positive. Ironically, for a technology that's designed to bring people closer together, spending too much time engaging with social media can actually make you feel more lonely and isolated. And it can exacerbate mental health problems such as anxiety and depression. So, some of the positive aspects of social media are, while virtual interaction on social media doesn't exactly have the same psychological benefits as face-to-face contact, there are still many positive ways in which it can help you stay connected to support your well-being. You can use it to communicate, stay up to date with family and friends and all that shit. Find new friends, new communities to network with other people who share similar interests or ambitions. Like Kanye said, you gotta find your tribe. You can find your tribe on the internet and try to network. You have to be able to discern certain shit. You have to be careful. You have to know what you're going on the internet for, what your purpose is. You know, for some people, it's to just have fun and talk shit and get a release. For others, it is a way to spread a message. And one thing you can't do is you have to find out what tribe that you belong in, you know, or do your best to curate your own tribe, you know. And some find their tribes faster than others. It's not a race. It's just being able to make sure that it's genuine. Everything goes through. Everything is copacetic. And everything happens with a purpose. You know. You can also find or seek and offer emotional support during rough times. You can find vital social connections. If you live in a remote area, for example, you may have a limited independence, social anxiety, or maybe you're part of a marginalized group. You know what I'm saying? So it helps you find an outlet for your creativity and self-expression, and you can also discover sources of valuable information and learning, but make sure it's the right information. Everybody has information, but you have to do your research and do all this shit to make sure that shit's your information, or wherever you're getting it from, or if you're speaking, or if you're trying to teach the information that whatever the fuck you're trying to do, make sure it's genuine, make sure it's right. You know what I'm saying? And some negative sides of social media, people got to realize this is still a new technology. There was very little research to establish the long-term consequences, good or bad, of social media use. However, multiple studies have found a strong link between heavy social media and an increased risk for depression, anxiety, loneliness, self-harm, and even suicidal thoughts. Social media may also, I don't know, man. It's, a lot of this shit that happens on social media, to me, sometimes it's too much. I'm not gonna lie. Being a person who is somewhat of an introvert, sometimes too much. Sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's not. We've all kind of been pulled out of character. You think you found something to belong to, or this is, try to get, something to bounce your platform off of, and it doesn't pan out because the audience is, is not your target audience, but you're trying to spread it out amongst the masses. Trying to catch the net out wide. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be careful of that, because you can end up saying some shit that she never ever would have said if it wasn't for this fucking internet shit. A lot of times you have to take a step back. A lot of times you just have to listen. People are going to tell you exactly who the fuck they are. And that's the one thing that we have to teach our children, because they're growing up and the internet is at a full speed ahead. It's already in stride. So we have to make sure that we guide our children in the right place and let them know that the internet is a fantasy world. Yeah, it involves real people, but it's a fantasy world, and it's dangerous because the internet kind of blurs those lines between reality and fantasy. Where reality and fantasy used to have a large gap, now it seems like the gap is closed and it's damn near touching. Depending on who you are and what role the internet plays in your life. We've seen the internet take down people. We've seen the internet cause people to commit suicide. We've seen the internet cause people to act a fucking fool and get totally out of character. And for the most part, we are guilty of it. But once you acknowledge it, there's no point of, doing that shit again. Because at that point, it's a choice. But social media can also promote negative experiences, such as FOMO, fear of missing out. Now, the fear of missing out has been around far longer than social media. Sites like Facebook, Instagram, if you grew up in a certain era, MySpace, you know what I'm saying? They seem to exacerbate feelings that others are having more fun or living better lives than you are. And the idea that you're missing out on certain things can impact your self-esteem. It can trigger your anxiety and fuel even greater social media use. But FOMO can also compel you to pick up your phone every few minutes to check for updates or compulsively respond to each other in every alert. Even if that means you're taking risks while you're driving, missing out on sleep at night, or prioritizing social media interaction over real world relationships. Depression and anxiety, are a big factor in this too. Human beings need to, have face-to-face contact to be mentally healthy. Nothing can reduce the stress or boost your mood faster than, or more effectively than eye-to-eye contact with someone who really cares about you. And the more you prioritize social media interaction over in-person relationships, the more you're, just the more you do that shit, man, the more you at risk for developing mood disorders and all type of other shit. You watching somebody else have a good time while you could be having a good time. You have to be careful, man. A lot of people, man, sometimes the internet is a circus, in my opinion. You can choose to be a spectator. You can choose to be a ringleader. You can choose to be a clown. Or you can be the person in the background that's shoveling the shit up from the elephants and those type of animals. It's always a nigga, in the back, trying to put the tiger back in the, in the cage, get scratched up. Nigga might get, fucked up a little bit. It's always some wild shit going on the internet. It's a fucking circus. And you just got to be careful with where and how you present yourself. You have to keep in mind, if you have a purpose for being on the internet, if you have a platform, or if you have something that, a message that you're trying to get out, you have to be aware of where you're taking your message and how that may look to people who really care about your message versus the people who don't really care about your message. Sometimes when you join certain shit, your message can be hijacked and you lose thought and you lose a sense of yourself and what you created your platform for. So you gotta keep mind of that. A lot of times you created your platform for a reason. You created your platform to help, to inform, to encourage. Once you start getting outside of yourself and doing none of those things, but instead adding your platform to another entity or trying to merge it with another entity, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose and your platform gets hijacked and people don't take what you say serious. People don't take your message serious, and although they shouldn't, people will create a perception of you off of what you put on, chat boxes or, comments or whatever the fuck. People will actually try to psychoanalyze motherfuckers on the internet, which is dangerous too, because not everybody's in their right mind. And if everybody's not in their right mind, why are they trying to psychoanalyze niggas? Which means they won't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have, man, it's niggas who are out here who ain't even found the middle ground. It's niggas out here who haven't even found the middle ground within themselves to understand the duality of themselves, to understand the context and nuances and all the other fancy words of all this other shit. It's many shades of this shit. It's not just the basics. You have people who are out here who are master manipulators that have an audience, and they can cause people to care more about the bullshit and actually care about themselves. Some people don't have nothing going on in their motherfucking life, and the internet is their life. And those are the ones who are dangerous, because if the internet is your life, it means that you're totally giving up and you're succumbing to a fantasy world, and you refuse to live in reality. You sit there and have people crash out for a cause that is ridiculous, or for no cause at all. That's why I say you have to be careful of people. Just because people have a following don't necessarily mean that they're spitting out good shit. Just because people have a following of people doesn't mean that they're genuine. They have just that, just a following. And sometimes that following can be sick. And a lot of sick and negative and evil shit can be stirred up in these communities sometimes. And these are the very same communities that we have to protect our children from. I know sometimes the bullshit is entertaining. Everybody loves a car crash. If you ever heard of car crash analogy, it's like everybody that's been in traffic on the highway, on the street, and the traffic is jammed up for miles and miles. And you wonder why that shit is jacked up until you get right up on it. And you realize the car crash happened, and by the time that you got there, it's been moved to the side. The traffic ain't because of the car crash. The traffic is because People are trying to see the damage. People want to look at the damage. People want to observe the damage. Everybody's heads is not focused on what the fuck they gotta go do. It's like the internet. People are tuned in to watch people crash and burn as entertainment. Now, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but rarely people like, it's really rare that people would like to receive great information or good information or positive information. You have to really grind that out, But if you got some drama that's going on, you got the pot always being stirred, people are going to gravitate to drama. That's just human nature. Some reason we are attracted to the negative shit. Not all of us, but for the most part, just being a human. That's why we like action movies and shit like that. Like, niggas want to see niggas drama and destruct. That's why all these reality TV shows work. That's nothing but drama. All this shit is stirred up drama. And at times, social media is just that. It's good information out there on social media. It's good platforms out there on social media. You just have to dig and dig and dig to find them and stay with them. Social media platforms are designed to snare your attention. They're designed to keep you online and have you repeatedly checking your screen for updates. It's how the companies make money. It's like gambling. It's like a gambling addiction, compulsion. Or it's like an addiction to like nicotine, alcohol, or drugs. Social media can create psychological cravings. When you receive a like, a share, a follow, a sub, or a favorable reaction to a post, it can trigger the same release of dopamine in the brain, the same reward system, the same reward chemical that follows winning on a slot machine, or taking, a bite of some food, or lighting up a blunt, or a cigarette, or whatever the fuck. The more you are rewarded, the more time you want to spend on social media. Even if it means it can become detrimental to the other aspects of your life. Many of us use social media as a security blanket, and whenever we're in a social situation and feel anxious, awkward, lonely, we turn to our phones and log on to social media. And of course, interacting with social media only denies you face-to-face interaction that can, help ease anxiety. For instance, I stutter a little bit. I stutter more when I'm on a live or when I'm, on camera and shit like that. But when I'm doing what I'm doing now, recording the audio, I don't stutter as much because I'm calm. My shit is mapped out. I know what I'm going to say. I planned this. And you can't go and do something just because somebody else is doing it. If that's not your stilo, don't try to make that your stilo. So what, you got to slow grind this shit up. It's better to do it your way than somebody else's way. The last thing I want to do is have somebody hanging overhead or trying to use whatever against you. You have to do things your way. If somebody's trying to hit excuse me, if somebody's really trying to help you, mouth getting dry, goddamn. Smoking all night, my bad. All right. If somebody's trying to help you with anything, a part of helping is listening. A part of helping is also trying to understand what a person's platform is about and wanting to do the best thing for their platform to grow it. Giving what you can and then stepping back and letting that person rock out. But some people don't understand the concept of trying to help, or they have to figure out why everything they're trying to help doesn't really pan out. You know, not everybody is made to help. Sometimes, if you have a position, just because you have a position doesn't necessarily mean you're made to help. And although it can be genuine, sometimes it doesn't pan out. Being able to help somebody is it's effortless, but it's also, in my opinion, it's a gift. Because in order to help somebody, they have to be successful with the information that you told them in some kind of shape, fashion, or form. Otherwise, it's not helping them at all. Then you have to get down deeper within that concept and say, well, is what helping me really helping me? Are people plugged in to me because they love what I'm doing, or are they plugged in to me because I'm, doing some other shit? Like, it's one of the things where people are laughing with you or laughing at you. It just kind of depends on who the fuck you are. What your platform is about, then you have to go into like the entertainment side, and that's when it starts getting to like the entertainment side. That's when it starts becoming the circus. But it's a vicious cycle. A vicious cycle of unhealthy social media use, excessive use. It can just create a negative self-perpetuating cycle. When you feel lonely and depressed and anxious or stressed, you may use social media more often as a way to relieve the boredom or feel more connected to others. And using social media more often, though, increases FOMO, feelings of inadequacy, dissatisfaction, and isolation. And in turn, these feelings negatively affect your mood, worsen your symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. And these worsening symptoms causes you to use social media even more, and also continues digging a downward spiral. So, in a nutshell, everyone is different, and there's no specific amount of time spent on social media or the frequency you check for updates or number of posts you make. That is a direct indicator of your use. That whatever, however you're using your phone or your computer or whatever, it's not really a direct indicator that it's saying it's unhealthy. But it has to do with the impact time spent on social media has on your mood. Alright? It has to do with the impact time spent on social media has on your mood and other aspects of your life, along with your motivations for using it. I'll say that shit one more time. It has to do with the impact time spent on social media has on your mood and other aspects of your life, along with your motivations for using it. Monumental to be monumental. Much love to everybody listening to this on all streaming platforms. This is going to be everywhere. I want this to be heard. Spread it out. Like, share, subscribe on all this shit. More messages of positivity, good information need to be spread more. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of bullshit out here lately. A lot of the bullshit is getting a lot of the attention. And if you have a positive platform that's not getting the attention that you seek it, that you know it deserves, don't try to latch on or associate yourself with anybody else who is not of yourself, who's not like you. You know? It's kind of like if you know a place that's known for nasty food, why would you go into that place that is known for nasty food and try to go get some and expect some good food out of it? You know? It's basic, but it's common at the same time. You know? And I can go further into it, and I eventually will. I have a lot more. But I don't want this to be a long pod. I just want to get this message out because I have children, you may have children, or know some children around you. We know adults that act like children, grown-up people who act like children because it's in that term. Niggas into children. When you come on this shit, you step out to this world, you step out on the net. As an adult, you have to conduct yourself. Don't get me wrong. We have all fell short of how we see ourselves. We have all fell short of who we are. But once you recognize that shit, don't keep doing it over and over again. At that point, it's a choice. Maybe a subconscious choice. Nonetheless, it's a choice. Something about that is fueling you. Something about that is feeding you. Something about that is, addicted. Be mindful of that. Respect yourself. Respect others. If you have a platform, if you're out here trying to get off that's positive, respect that too. And if you have people of certain tribes that you're trying to attach yourself to, that not only respects you and respects your platform, by all means, go for it. Don't let nobody talk down, disrespect, or hijack your platform. Use your platform as a crash dump. Also, don't think that you owe anybody anything on any of this shit in life or on the internet. Fuck all this shit.